I wonder if the princess used to play in the streets when she was little.
Lost, citizen? I'm afraid not. I'm on duty, and it's imperative that I remain focused on what few tasks I'm still deemed capable of performing. A fellow guard once paused for idle chit-chat with a woman. She went to the Lotus Assassins with the story of his inattentiveness. Next thing you know, he's arrested for threatening the security of the Empire with his lax ways. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't want to share his fate. This district? Well, it's called the Golden Way for a variety of reasons. Certainly one of the richer areas of the city, one of the best looking as well. This district is a major thoroughfare, with the Scholar's Garden at one end and the Market District at the other. There's also the Necropolis, but most people avoid that place. Who wants to spend time with the dead? Be about your business and stay out of trouble. Pleasure to be of service.
Let's keep things simple. If someone gets in our way, remove them.
I trust your plans go well, despite the dangers you face and inflict. Is there something I can do for you? I think it's unwise to trust the... Goodbye.
Watch yourself around the Lotus Assassins. There's something unnatural about them.
Lost citizen?
My father lived through the drought. He can attest to the marvelous change Emperor Sun Hai has brought to the Empire.
Hold on there. This way leads into the Necropolis, a dangerous area. You shouldn't go in there unless you have some business there. Ghosts have been rising up everywhere in the Empire, I've heard. So many have come up in the Necropolis that it just isn't safe anymore. It would take an army of us to clear them out, if we could do it at all. We can't even safely post a guard in there. We just warn people away. The Lotus Assassins want everyone kept away as well. First time I've heard of them being altruistic. Bad. Real bad. Monks used to go in every few weeks to clean out the ones who had risen. But lately it's become too much for them to handle. You look like a warrior. I'm sure you know that even if you disperse a ghost in combat, they reform again eventually. It takes a long time, but it's inevitable. Leave the dead to their own is what I say. Just block the whole place off and start again somewhere else. Stay away from the Necropolis. It's dangerous.
I greet you, sir. I wonder if you might have some silver to spare. I come from a very wealthy family. As such, I have a certain lifestyle to maintain. Parties, female admirers, lots of wine. You understand. I have to have an income, don't I? My father looked at my considerable expenses and told me to get my own silver. Ah, but I am a noble. The shame of manual labor or the stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me. Not at all. Very simply, you have it, I want it. I am behaving in a very rational, civilized manner by politely asking. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. If you feel more generous later, I will be here.
Your abacus is lacking beads, but you take no notice. You have little of worth the catalog.
Hello again, sir. Are you ready to offer me a silver? I come from a very... I have to have an income, don't I? Of course. I am a noble. The shame of manual labor or the stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me, or even waft its way close to me. How could there be shame? You've got it and I want it. Should I steal it? Never. Simply ask like a civilized soul, I say. I am afraid I cannot do that. That would be trade, and I simply will not sully my beautifully soft hands with such. I will tell you for free, however. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. I thank you. It's not easy for one such as I. I have it far more difficult than the impoverished beggars of this city. Farewell.
Your diatribe is derivative of populist works. See, I don't understand that.
Those Lotus assassins make me nervous. They just look so
Walk is uneven.
unnatural.
You would be a substandard dancer. Your parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The Outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the Emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe, but that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus Assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the Scholar's Garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
Those Lotus Assassins make me nervous. They just look so unnatural.
I hope my daughter will grow to be as beautiful as the princess, though perhaps less unruly. I've seen some strange things in this city, but it's still the only place I'd want to live.
Lost, citizen? This district? Well, it's called the Golden Way for a variety of reasons. Certainly one of the richer areas of the city, one of the best looking as well. This district is a major thoroughfare, with the Scholar's Garden at one end and the Market District at the other. There's also the Necropolis, but be about your business and stay out of trouble. Pleasure to be of service.
The gold...
Lost, citizen? This district? What? Easy enough to find. Just head as far east as you can go in this district and take the smaller path up the hill. It winds a bit past the Performer's Pagoda and leads right into the Scholar's Garden. A pleasure.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both. Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, or you are. There was something familiar about him as well. Why would you say that? Is that what he told you? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot believe that your Master Li is the glorious strategist. I was too young to know him. I was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire 20 years ago. Now it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. The wall was started by the first Emperor, Sagacious Qian, as protection against the Horse Lords. The Empire has long since grown past its boundaries. It is now more a spiritual monument instead of a physical barrier. Every Emperor has added to it. It is a legacy that has lasted millennia. Prisoners of the Empire. Hard labor reforms them, and contributing to a legacy gives them purpose. Many respected citizens once worked on the wall. My father may have approved the factory without considering what it could be used for. If we just tell him my suspicions, he will dismiss them. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are recruiting. Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face lived to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tian's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or, if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Yes, I will have my people spread rumors of your interest. Once you pass the silver round, the Executioner will take an interest. I'm sure he will find you as impressive as I do. Or, if you prefer, court the Inquisitor. Ask Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about him. I hear Dongao is closer to the Assassins than he should be. I will wait at your flyer. Or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should, discuss how closely we will be working together? A wise preference. No offense intended to your amusing companions. Hello again. I enjoy our little chats, but I don't think anything has changed since we last spoke. I still need evidence against Death's Hand to free my father. Meet the Executioner in the arena, or speak with Scholar Dongao in the Scholar's Garden about the Inquisitor. Hurry, or you'll lose your chance to help your master. We've gone over this. Death's Hand is using the prisoners who should be working on the wall to construct some sort of personal army of golems. My father probably knows something, but not the true danger of it. I need to show that Death's Hand intends to seize control. The Lotus Assassins act for Death's Hand. There has to be proof of his evil intent in the Lotus Assassin Fortress. That is where you need to go. Did you like it? I thought you might want a little assistance. Consider it a small token of my favor. I thank you for your courtesy. A woman always likes to hear when her gifts are appreciated. It is difficult for one of my rank to give gifts, even one so simple as what I gave you. A princess is not normally allowed to show favorites. Better that I give it away before Death's Hand carts it off. He has been quite brazen. Besides, it was mine by birthright to do with as I wish. Must I always be dictated to by tradition, despite my respect for it? Sometimes I want what everyone else has, to be myself. And to be myself, I gave you what I wished. Well, you're polite at least. Most nobles take gifts as a matter of course, especially those from a woman. But the price I may pay for helping you could be greater still. I am destined for the throne, destined to rule the Empire after my father, but that will be meaningless if Death's Hand keeps his hold on my father's mind. I fear one day he may try to interfere with the Imperial succession. Or perhaps convince my father that he should be Emperor by marriage. You forget yourself. You should not try so hard to flatter a princess. The attentions of royalty have their own price. In any case, I would never allow Death's Hand such liberty. I would bite my own tongue before allowing that man to touch me. I'm sorry, I've ruined the mood. We should continue our talk another time. First, we must expose Death's Hand, reveal his treachery and manipulation. I will answer what I can, but... My father? What do you want to know that isn't already public knowledge? Emperor Sun Hai is well known and well loved. Death's Hand is wearing away at that reputation, however, and I need to stop him before it goes too far. My father was very caring when I was a child. Now he is cold and distant. I know Death's Hand is corrupting him somehow. He has been present for as long as I can remember, but he only rose to prominence after the end of the long drought. I wish you luck. Once you have gained the trust of the Lotus Assassins, we will plan how to proceed. Hello?
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
Do you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away.
Don't look at me. I can't do anything right now. Not like this.
We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City.
1,000 cuts. Dire flame. Paralyzing Paul. Spirit Thief. 1,000 cuts. Dire flame. Paralyzing Paul. 1,000 cuts.
Welcome, friend. The lecture won't be starting for a little while, though your enthusiasm is appreciated. I wouldn't worry about seating. Those interfering philosophers had made sure that very few people will be attending the lecture. Certainly. We can't learn without asking questions. How can I help you today? I'm glad you asked. Today I will speak on my theories of cloud formation. That was my first major discovery, though it hasn't been widely accepted yet. The basic principles are really quite simple. I deduced after lengthy study that clouds are formed by the moisture escaping from our bodies. When the weather is cool, you can clearly see small clouds escaping from people's mouths. Similar clouds form on the skin of people working strenuously in the cold. These clouds of breath rise up and collect near the tallest peaks, where it is almost always cloudy. This was one of my finest discoveries. Don't let the name fool you. There are fewer scholars here than you might think. We are far outnumbered by those obstinate philosophers. The philosophers believe that the gods dictate everything, from the rising of the sun to the changing seasons. If the summer ends too soon or too late, the gods must be angry. Of course, anyone who cares to look can see that the birds control the weather. I have noted with some accuracy that the birds predict the seasons. I have a theory that the massive movements of birds in the autumn and spring actually cause the prevailing winds to change direction. When birds fly south just before autumn, they cause the winds to change. And we get cold air from the north until the spring, when the birds reverse the winds again. It's really quite simple, but just try telling that to one of the philosophers. Don't get me wrong, I like most of the philosophers, but their strict adherence to aging traditions makes them very difficult to deal with. They're always preaching about peace and harmony. Really, we kill and subdue the creatures of this world in order that we can survive. Where's the peace in that? Can a man survive long enough without eating meat? What about the grains we use to make our bread, or the hides we use for any number of things? We consume constantly. Peace and harmony are wonderful ideals, but in nature only the strong survive, and they don't do it by being peaceful. What? That's quite a question. I'm not sure who told you, but I'd appreciate it if you would keep your voice down when asking those kinds of questions. Nobody here suspects me to be anything but an overzealous scholar, and I'd like to keep it that way. So you want to know about the recruiter? You have a flying machine, do you not? Yes, I know about that. Go back to the landing area and someone will meet you there. If the Lotus Assassins wanted you dead, your life would be over before you even knew you were in danger. I don't think so. I've already told you what you need to know. I'm not about to risk being discovered just to make you feel at ease.
Your course is set. The Inquisitor will be waiting at your camp. Appease him, and you'll be on the road to appeasing me.
Come and learn about the ways of sagacious Tien. Free your body, mind, and spirit.
Hello there, traveler. Forgive my forwardness, but I noticed your arrival earlier while I was at the tavern. That flying machine of yours is truly a marvel. I actually have a design for a new prototype flyer, and I hope to get funding to build it one day. The other scholars aren't interested in my inventions, though. I apologize. The masters always remind me not to get ahead of myself. What is it you would like to know? Oh, I'm Scholar Zenyu. I'm one of the newer Scholar elites. I was actually born in the poor quarter, but my uncle brought me here when I was only 10. He knew I would never have a chance at a real life unless I had some proper schooling. I've lived here with him ever since. That's right, you're new here, aren't you? Well, where should I begin? There's so much to tell you. There are several important areas here in the city. Of course, there are also many different services, too. I'm not sure what to tell you first. One of the best places in the city is the arena. Just don't tell my masters I said so. If you go to the arena, you'll also see the heart of the Empire Tavern. And of course, there are several shops and merchants with all manner of supplies available. All of that can be found in the market district. I'm not supposed to go there. At least not when I'm studying, but it's hard to resist. It's known as the best tavern in all the Empire. I actually do some of my best thinking while I'm there. I like to sit in the upper rooms with a bit of wine and just look out over the city, or the arena. It's one of my guilty pleasures, I have to admit. When I was a little boy, I used to dream of fighting in the arena. My uncle had other plans, however. At any rate, watching those fighters compete is one of the most exhilarating experiences. You look as though you can handle yourself in the arena. If you're interested in fighting, you should speak with Kui the promoter. You can find him in the heart of the Empire Tavern most of the time. Sure. Well, let's see. This place is the Scholars' Garden. For the most part, only stuffy old philosophers and scholars reside here. Farther down toward the city, you'll find the Golden Way. Many wealthy people live and work there. Hopefully some willing to fund one of my inventions. Then there's the Market District, near where you landed earlier. Most of the city does its business there. It's an interesting place. At least, I think so. You'll also find the path to the Black Leopard School there, across the river from the arena. I haven't been there, but I hear it's an interesting place to visit. All right then. Goodbye.
我上次一从那个报告。Koni uk noea kup sa ia sisia su ukot.
Utata ia okayoe ia fonia sisa ia trusta pafawe ia touia.
Aworth utkua wo kokopia kawa ia elwo. Wasafno sasitu noko ota napia ifa ia ok. Wo kuketita sumpono sathwa kawa ia ifiak. Koni uk noea kup sa ia sisia su ukot. O ifo ia uk sonkop noko isansia. Ni upa ia kupu sa ia elwath kraka ia nano uksaro isowak mikano wo napia shatia uko. Aworth utkua wo kokopia kawa ia elwo. Woso awi ia ni tu uksumpuno. Kutkosi wiwa ia wo nawa ia ifo wia o ta wikino. Wakawa ia tanke ia nano wo ia wasonoak. Uksa iespithu ki ukoniero thakno. Uksa ia kawaii ia a ithino nahipi no feitea. Yowea sonsi ia wo yowea kon ompefifia.
Greetings, and welcome to the Scholar's Garden. I am Philosopher Xiao, one of the many masters you will see here during your visit. I see by your accoutrements that you are not from the Imperial City. I hope your visit here is one of fulfillment and success. As sagacious Tien once said, more valuable than silk are new friends in a foreign land. If you need anything, I will be glad to assist you. As sagacious Tien once said, kind words and respectable attire are seldom a sign of true character. Only deeds reveal the intent of the soul. I am glad to help you in any way I can. I am honored that you would ask me, though I must warn you, the teachings take a lifetime to learn and cannot be taught in a day. Perhaps I could explain the core principles of Tien's teachings. I could recite the history of Tien if you like. The teachings of sagacious Tien are very simple, but the implications are astoundingly complex. At the heart of the teachings are the concepts of harmony and discord. Also referred to as the way of the open palm and the way of the fist, one cannot exist without the other, but neither can they coexist in one person. Harmony with the world comes from understanding your place in the world. An ant that believes it is a tiger will never achieve harmony. In other words, accepting your place in the world and using your skills accordingly is the optimal way of following the path of harmony. Discord is the other side of the coin. People who choose the path of discord seek their own advancement over everything else. These people will ignore the world and use whatever means necessary to raise themselves above their station. Sagacious Tien taught both harmony and discord to his students, for one cannot be fully known without the other. However, he himself followed the way of harmony. Sagacious Tien was the first emperor of the Jade Empire. He was a philosopher and a leader without compare, unifying the warring factions of his time. His teachings founded this great empire, though there was very little written about Tien himself. We do know that he brought peace to the people of the empire, and since that time, his teachings have guided hundreds of generations of followers. I am afraid I would not be the best person to ask, but there are others to whom I could direct you. You could ask young scholar Zenyu. He spends a good deal of time in the city enjoying worldly pursuits, though he does not think his masters know it. There is also a man named Bai who works near the Imperial Arena. He is renowned for his knowledge of the city. The Scholar's Garden is the seat of learning in the Jade Empire. The philosophers and scholars who live here dedicate their lives to the pursuit of wisdom. The scholars are dedicated to unlocking the secrets of the physical world. Many still follow the teachings of sagacious Tien, though some take their studies too far. I am certainly not opposed to their ways of study. Indeed, the scholars have made many wonderful and important discoveries. We philosophers dedicate our lives to the study and teaching of the ways of sagacious Tien. We believe in peace and harmony and balance. Many find it difficult to grasp the significance or usefulness of our studies, but we assist anyone willing to learn the ancient teachings. Of course. What would you... Well, That is a delicate issue. The recruiter is not so easy to find. I'm sorry, but I can't... As you wish. With luck, the winds of heaven will bring us together again one day. Farewell.
As amusing as your savage dances are, once again I have proven the superiority of setting your nose to the grindstone and not mucking about. Now bring some refreshments in a proper mug, or I'll take back the coins of my home and country. Don't you heathens know the worth of a proper king's halfpenny?
Generous visitor, if our customs are so displeasing to you, perhaps you should find lodging elsewhere?
Please? And leave you lot to your primitive ways? Tell them what I think of that, Squire Percival.
Sir Roderick Ponce von Fontelbottom, the magnificent bastard, will do no such thing. He means to educate you all.
Good lad. Found him wading in the mud, planting weeds. You can't keep your crackers crisp doing that. Can't help you if you don't know the horror of a soggy biscuit. I've given him dignity, and unless one of you has the will to deny that I'm your better, I suggest you start learning. We'll have you in proper trousers by the morrow. Oh, what's that? Someone stepping to the fore? Let's have a look at you. Ah, you look quick with your fists, but I'll wager your head falls behind. Too much time slapping each other, and not enough time strapped to a desk in a decent classroom. The simple truth is that I have bested every one of you who has come forward, whether in tests of wit or combat. You faced a champion of king and country. Now, I didn't ask to land here, but if a storm is going to cast my ship into the very heart of such a dark empire, I'll bring the light of knowledge wherever I can. You must hunger for guidance. You're like children. I mean, only a handful of you can even grow a decent moustache. What kind of place is this? Can you now? Shall we put that to a test? I welcome the chance that you might impress me with a glimmer of intelligent insight. But I will acknowledge that I am likely to disagree just because I know you are, lacking. We will need educated men to judge the merits of our arguments. I've gone to great pains to learn your barbaric tongue, only to find that none of you has much to say. Can you convince me otherwise? I've heard a distinct lack of couplets and quatrains, to say nothing of pentameters. Is it any wonder you people live as you do? I charge you with defending the heart of your people. If a group of judges determines that you have adequately done so, I will declare you the winner. It's more likely I'll teach the rest by making an example of you. Here, these five standing about will be our judges. They look like a varied lot. Go on, talk to them all to prove I haven't coerced them. We'll begin the debate when you're ready. Then we'll see how you fare in combat. Doubt you'll do very well. Like the rest, you're all just too damn skinny.
I heard you accept the Outlander's challenge. I'm grateful you have seen fit to defend us all. I would be honored to sit in judgment of the debate. Several of my fellow scholars have also volunteered. To do otherwise would only help the Outlander win in the long run. If he wants a true debate, we will allow it to progress fairly. Of course, I doubt his arguments will have the weight that he expects. Not here in the heart of the Jade Empire. The best course is to appeal to the individual preferences of the judges. We are theoretical thinkers, really. It is not so much the subject, but the tactic that triggers reaction. Each judge will respond only to argument styles they favor. If a judge likes fact, use it once and he will join your side. Use it again and he will switch back, just to further debate. Other arguments may not interest him at all. I am ill-equipped to see my own faults, but I, like my fellow scholars, am adept at exploiting the weaknesses of others. Scholars Heng and Zhao are easily swayed with simple facts. Cite such details and they are certain to change their opinion either for or against. I wish you luck. I look forward to your defense of the Empire.
I don't understand a thing he says, but I don't understand much of what these scholars say.
Oh, this is exciting. I've never been asked to jury a debate before, and now I'm the third of your 5 judges. My name is Scholar Zhao. He is coarser than the thinkers I am used to, but on the whole I am not as upset by him as others appear to be. He seems bent on disruptive behavior. He should be encouraged to take that elsewhere. I've argued in this group of scholars many times before. We are so used to each other that we will change opinions just to further the debate. Don't worry so much about what you are saying when you respond. Just concentrate on how you say it. I haven't given it much thought. I pictured myself as balanced, but some of the others are very specific in their tastes. Actually, you can sway scholars Kai and Gu by mocking your opponent. I don't care for it, but they seem to respond quite vigorously. Good luck. This should be an interesting debate.
Greetings to you. I am Scholar Heng, and I will be serving as the second of 5 judges for the debate. I look forward to honorable discourse. I don't dislike him. I find some of his points to be worth discussing, but Sir Roderick is a bit disruptive for the garden. He may bring attention that we do not want. It would be best to peacefully encourage him to be on his way. Try to choose your arguments in a sequence that eventually turns everyone in your favor. Don't worry about losing a vote on a single topic. I'm sure the others agree that my tastes are balanced. The minister, however, is easily engaged by sympathetic pleas, as are scholars Zhao and Gu. I find their appreciation of such fawning to be distasteful, but that is one of the arguments they prefer. Good luck against the Outlander. He is a tenacious speaker.
Ah, so you are the one who will debate the Outlander. I am the 5th of your 5 judges. He doesn't seem that interested in gathering any. He's clearly used to imposing his opinion regardless of the recipient's desire to have it. His points are debatable, but his presentation is not compatible with the garden. Try not to dig a hole you can't get out of. If you can't get everyone to agree with you, just focus on getting as many as you can. Remember, you need a majority of judges on your side at the end of 6 topics. Are you implying that I am predisposed to be weak in certain areas? I can't accept that. Some of my fellows, however, are another story. Scholars Zhao and Kai are easy to predict. Dismissing a weak argument gets their attention immediately and will spur them one way or another. Try not to dig a hole you can't get out of. If you can't get everyone to agree with you, just remember. Yes.
I greet you. My name is Scholar Kai, and I will be the 4th of 5 judges for the debate. I suggest you don't mess it up. He is an insult to our accomplishments as a people. If you fail in the debate, at least take him to task physically. I don't care where he came from. Anything to get him on his way. Some arguments may win a judge's favor while turning another away. Vary your topics so that you don't end up manipulating the same judges over and over. I am always impartial, but some of my fellows are easy to goad into decisions if you know their tastes. The minister is particularly fond of confrontational arguments. Respond in a rage and you are sure to engage him. The Outlander uses flawed logic. Don't allow him to taint this forum of culture and intellect.